A story that has been told for centuries. A story of hope, love, and miracles. This is the story of Christmas, but I will not just tell you the story. I will take you on a journey back in time. This story is not just about Christmas, it's about how small action can change the world. It's about faith, courage, and kindness. It's about how one night, thousands of years ago, brought light into a dark world. And while you listen to this story, you will learn English. This is listening practice, but it's also so much more. You will learn new words, new phrases, and how to enjoy English stories. So, are you ready to travel back in time with me? Let's go. Imagine this, it's over 2000 years ago, long before cars, phones, and electricity. People lived in a simple lives in a small villages. The houses were made of stone and clay, and the streets were dusty. Families worked hard every day, growing food, caring for animals, and making clothes by hand. In one such village called Nazareth, there lived a young woman named Mary. Mary was a kind and humble. She loved helping others and always had a smile on her face. Everyone in the village knew her because of her gentle heart. Mary was engaged to a man named Joseph. Joseph was a carpenter, which means he made things from wood like tables, chairs, and doors. He was known for his honesty and kindness. Joseph loved Mary and they were planning to get married soon. One evening, Mary was alone in her small house. The sun had just set and the stars were shining brightly in the sky. Mary was thinking about her future when suddenly something incredible happened. The room filled with glowing light, a golden. Mary was startled and looked around. Then she saw someone standing before her, a figure dressed in white, shining like the sun. It was an angel. The angel spoke in gentle but powerful voice. "Do not be afraid, Mary. I am Gabriel, a messenger from God. You are chosen for a special purpose. You will have a son, and he will be the Son of God. His name will be Jesus, and he will bring peace and love to the world." Mary was shocked. She asked, "But how can this happen? I am not yet married." Gabriel smiled and said, "With God, nothing is impossible. Trust in him." Mary took a deep breath. She was still afraid, but she trusted God. She said, "I am God's servant. Let be as you say." When Mary told Joseph about the angel message, he was confused. He did not know what to think or do. The angel said, "Joseph, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife. The child she carries from God, his name will be Jesus, and he will save people from their sins." Joseph woke up with a feeling of peace. He now understood the special role that he and Mary would play. Soon after this, the Roman Empire Caesar Augustus announced census. A census is when the government counts all the people in the land. Everyone had to travel to their own town register. For Joseph, this meant traveling to a small town, Bethlehem, where his family was from. Mary was pregnant, so she could not walk the whole way. Joseph borrowed a donkey for Mary to ride on. The roads were dusty and rocky, the days were hot and the nights were cold. Joseph walked beside the donkey, making sure Mary was comfortable. The journey was long and difficult. Bethlehem was about 90 miles, 145 kilometers from Nazareth. They stopped to rest under trees and near steam. At night, they slept under the stars, listening to the sound of the countryside. Mary was tired but hopeful. She knew that something very special was going to happen soon. When they finally reached Bethlehem, the town was crowded with people. Everyone in small hotel was full. Joseph knocked on door after door, but everyone said no room. Mary was in pain. The baby was coming soon, and they needed a place to stay. Finally, one kind innkeeper said, "I don't have a room, but you can stay in my stable. A stable is a place where animals like cow, sheep and donkeys are kept. It was not a perfect place for a baby to be born, but it was a warm and quiet. That night, miracle happened. Mary gave birth to baby Jesus. She wrapped him in soft cloths, laid him in a manger. A manger is a wooden box where animals sit, but on that night, it became the bed for the baby who would change the world. People from far away could see this star and they know something special had happened. These men stayed outside all night watching over their flocks to protect them from wild animals. Far away from Bethlehem, on the same night that Jesus was born, there were shepherds in the field. Shepherds were people who took care for sheep. The field were quiet and the night was dark. The only sound were the sound bleating for the sheep and the whisper to the cool wind. The shepherds sat around a small fire, talking and keeping warm. Suddenly the sky lit up with a bright light, brighter than the sun. An angel appeared in the sky, glowing with light, and the shepherds were terrified. The angel spoke in calm and gentle voice. Do not afraid, I bring you good news that will bring great joy to everyone. Tonight, in the town of Bethlehem, a Savior has been born. He is Christ the Lord. You will find him wrapped in a clothes, lying in a manger. Before they could ask any question, the sky was suddenly filled with thousands of angels. They were singing and praising God. The sound was so beautiful and powerful that filled the shepherd hearts with peace and joy. After singing, the angel disappeared and the sky became quiet and dark again. The shepherds sat in silence for a moment, trying to understand what had just happened. One of them said, "We have to go to the Bethlehem. We have to see this baby the angels told us about." The others nodded. They left their sheep behind and hurried toward the town of Bethlehem. The shepherd walked quickly through the dark street of Bethlehem, following the bright star in the sky. The star led them to a small stable on the edge of the town. When they reached the stable, they saw Mary and Joseph sitting beside a manger. Inside the manger was the baby, Jesus, wrapped in a soft cloth, just as the angel had said. The shepherds fell to their knees. They know they were in the presence of someone very special. With tears in their eyes, they told Mary and Joseph about the angels. They explained how the angels had been appear in the sky and told them about the Savior. Mary listened carefully to every word and kept these memories in her heart. The shepherds stayed for a while, gazing at the baby. They could not believe that the Savior of the world was lying in a simple manger, in a humble stable. When it was time to leave, the shepherds were filled with excitement. They ran back to the field, telling everyone they met about what they had been seen and heard. People were amazed by their story, but some found it hard to believe. Far away in the east, there were wise men, also known as Magi. These men study the stars and know a lot about science and the world. One night, they saw a new, very bright star in the sky. They had never seen anything like it before. The wise men believed that this star was a sign that a new king had been born. They decided to follow the star to find this king and honor him. The journey was long and difficult. They traveled for weeks, maybe even months, across deserts, mountains and rivers. They brought with them special gifts for the baby. Gold, a gift for a king. Frankincense, a sweet-smelling perfume used in worship. A special oil used for important ceremonies. The wise men finally reached Jerusalem and went to see the King Herod, the ruler of the land. They asked him, "Where is the newborn king? We have seen his star and have come to worship him." Herod was shocked and angry. He was the king and did not like the idea of another king being born. But he pretended to be kind and said, "When you find him, come back and tell me where he is, so I can worship him too." The wise men left Herod's palace and followed the star again. The star led them to Bethlehem, to the same stable where Jesus was. When the wise men entered the stable, they saw Mary, Joseph, and the baby Jesus. The bright star was shining directly above the stable. The wise men knelt before Jesus and placed their gift of gold, frankincense, and myrrh at his feet. They knew this child was not an ordinary baby. He was the King of Kings, the Savior of the world. Mary and Joseph were amazed by the gift and the respect the wise men showed to their child. That night, the wise men had a dream. In their dream, God warned them not to return to King Herod because Herod had evil plans. The wise men listened to the dream and took a different road back home. The night was peaceful and full of joy. The shepherds were telling everyone about Jesus, and the wise men were returning to their homes. Amazed by what they had been seen, Mary and Joseph stayed in the stable, looking at the baby with love and wonder.